Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the episode before Operation Barbarossa will start. And I guess you may have already guessed which will be the topic of this video, judging from the title. So before going straight into the action, very briefly what happened in the last 3 years in-game was that, well, Germany, upon the, let's say, victory over Poland, it defeated Denmark and Norway, and I see here that there are some areas which are most likely being liberated either by partisans or by Allied troops. I really hope these are Allied troops, and I hope that they will manage to hold, because the the least divisions I have on the Eastern Front, the better it will be for me. Just saying. And okay, then having defeated, let's say, the Scandinavian countries, Germany turned its attention to the west and steamrolled the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg. It managed to spill over into France, but then somehow the German AI was stuck along the Seine River, and even though it managed to encircle the Maginot Line, the AI just could not advance. And I watched this with a particular attention, because in all my HOI3 campaigns, I have never seen the German AI struggle so much against France. And the Battle of France went on until October 1940, so until a few months ago, when France finally capitulated, and Italy joined the war in August 1940, and before the armistice with France, it managed to snatch some lands here in Tunisia. The British did launch an offensive, and for one moment I hoped that they could manage to kick out the Italians from North Africa, but upon having reached, I think, Benghazi, they were being slowly pushed back. In Eastern Africa, the Italians are doing, let's say, much better than what they did in real life. And in the autumn of 1940, the Balkans just collapsed under the Axis pressure, as you can see here, from the partition of Yugoslavia and the partition of Greece. Concerning the Soviet Union, well, you may witness that I, let's say, purged all of the Red Army. And this is because now is the time to take the most important decision of the whole campaign. Okay, so it's time to take some decisions. So, as always, let's go with economic spying. Annual national focus, I will still go with the economy. And yeah, let's build new manufacturing plants. Economic boost, short-term investment for the juicy 10% IC. Soviet-Japanese Pact, yeah, sure. Time formations, yes, okay. I'm waiting one in-game day to pick the decision about the Red Army order of battle, because I added a few more generals, and they will be available, let's say, from January the 2nd. And yeah, so I mean, this is what I really like about HOI3, the fact that you have all this complex command and control chain. Alright, the Lend-Lease. If you want, you can read it. I'm not gonna read it for you guys. Just pause the game, yeah. And yeah, because I can feel the pain of being, I don't know, the supreme chief of staff, having to manage and organize all the fronts, all the offensives and defensive battles and operations. And yeah, this is something that I can't feel in Hearts of Iron 4. Even though one thing that I would like to bring to the channel would be, of course, more Total War mode for HOI4, and even, if possible, the Black Ice mod, because now it's with the new version for La Resistance, it's up and running also on my computer, which is very good. But now let's focus on this. So, the Red Army and Barbarossa, challenge accepted. what would have happened had not the German Wehrmacht taken the Red Army by surprise that dawn of June 22nd, 1941. There is no step back, Commander. It's time to face the real challenge with the historical Red Army order of battle. Good luck. So I will gain this officer emergency recruitment modifier, which will give me minus 100% of manpower and 100% of officer recruitment. And that's because I wanted to, I don't know, kind of imagine that for this year, since I would need a shit ton of officers for the new Red Army order of battle, I thought, okay, let's imagine to basically draft everybody into the officer academias and to do our best to pump out as many officers as possible to guide our soldiers to victory. And I was also like, okay, let's imagine to draft also some workers and miners from the mines and other areas of the Union towards the big industrial cities to gain this plus 10% of IC at the cost of minus 10% of resources. So it's time to trigger this event, and well, ladies and gentlemen, this is so far the biggest, the most complex, and the craziest order of battle I have ever scripted for any HOI3 campaign. I know some of you may say, but you did already a video about that, and it's true, I did a video I think 2 years ago about the Red Army order of battle. The historical order of battle the Red Army had on June 22nd, 1941. This is an improved version because, let's say, for three main reasons. First of all, I added under the control of the Stavka all of the existing military districts that, I mean, they have no, let's say, military purpose for the game. It just, you know, for being historically accurate. You guys, well, the people who has been with me for many long time, for a very long time, they know I'm quite fetishist concerning order of battles. Everything has to be perfect and everything has to be detailed for me. And as such, I not only have some, let's say, fronts like the northern, northwestern, western, southwestern, southern, Caucasian fronts, but I also have the Arkhangelsk military district, which is the one up here. I have the Kharkov military district, this one here. I have the Moscow, can't say it, the North Caucasian military district, the Orel one, the Volga one, I think it's this one, the Central Asian military district, oh, this one here. Then we have the Transbaikal, Ural, Siberian, Far Eastern Front, and the so-called Reserve Front. And it's, let's say, for the people who did not watch my previous video, which could also happen, one thing that makes unique this order of battle is that all of the divisions do have the historical strength, well, kind of, and organization that they had when the Germans launched their offensive. Like the 48th Rifle Division was completely caught by surprise. Its troops were still training in local summer camps, and in a matter of 3 days it was just completely wiped out from the Soviet order of battle. The most, I would say, funny and interesting aspect that I found when preparing this order of battle was the case of the 57th Tank Division, which officially belongs to the 17th Army, and the 17th Army is located here in Mongolia, as you can see. And at dawn of June 22nd, elements of the 57th Tank Division were just being unloaded by rail at the Proskurov station. So, of course, how do you model this? in HOI3. You just can't. So I just put this division with basically no strength, no nothing, in this province, far away from its HQ, just to mimic the complex situation. This is an improved order of battle because, first of all, not only I did add this extra stuff, but for each, I would say, army and army group, so front, I even added all of the historically existed support units, like let's pick the 8th army. So if the 8th army, the 8th army was supported with, I don't know, the 47th Corps Artillery Regiment, the 9th Anti-Tank Brigade, the 39th Anti-Aircraft Battalion, and so on and so on. And this was the most time-consuming aspect of all this crazy order of battle. And the third aspect is that I also added the so-called fortified regions that were really garrison units raised to protect local areas. Usually they were dug into heavily fortified regions, and I hope these guys will help me in the defense of the motherland. And each how are they called, fortified regions, yeah, they consist of a garrison unit, heavy tank, heavy artillery, heavy anti-tank, guns, battalions, heavy anti-aircraft, and one engineer unit. I also added in the Hanko Peninsula the 8th Border Detachment of the NKVD, consisting of this special infantry regiment and one NKVD unit, as well as in the Eastern Front. I think they are in the 1st Army, yeah, exactly. Under the command of the 1st Army, Red Banner Army, I added these 3 rifle brigades, which were historically attached to this. And in the previous version, I just added them as normal infantry regiments to the 1st Army. Now I made them full combat ready. And yeah, so that's it for now. What I would do now is just to redeploy and reassign everything to establish a strong defensive line on along the Dnieper, Dvina and Dniper. Oh my god, I can't say this. Fortified line, and then I think we will be ready to face off the Axis invasion. So welcome back, and it's now time to show off basically all the changes done to the Red Army. So first of all, I'm moving the Stavka to Omsk because I tried in the 1936 scenario just to move some HQs here and there, and I noticed that if I put it to Omsk, I can have the Far Eastern Front in range, which is, I think, very good. And besides that, I can keep all of the other army groups here in range as well. So without further ado, let's say from the north, yeah, okay, we have the Northern Front, consisting of the 14th Army, which is defending the, let's say, Arctic region here against Finland. We have one garrison division here, one tank division, and 4 rifle divisions. We have the 7th Army covering these approaches here. Oh, I think I forgot about it. Should be here, not here. Anyway, and then back here we have the 23rd Army defending the border with Finland. And I don't want to show it for everything, but I did my best to organize all the rifle corps with 3 rifle divisions and 1 fortified region unit, and if possible, each army has at least one mechanized corps, which should act as a kind of mobile reserve. In practice, I don't think this will happen because I'm now upgrading all the light armor into armor units, and this may take quite some time. And I also started to upgrade I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think they were either garrison or militia units into proper infantry regiments. One division is the 67th Fighter Division, and the other 4 are located in the Far Eastern Front. Yeah, so the Northern Front covers the approaches from Finland. The say Northwestern Front consists of, yeah, you can see them here, 3 armies, and they will cover basically these stretch here of the Dvina. Then I have the Western Front, which is responsible, I think, for protecting the junction between the Dvina and the Dnieper line. I think it also has the most critical area, because here there are the provinces of Polotsk and Lepysk, just 2 plains, no extra defense, no nothing, and that's why I added here also 1 motorized division, because the 2 tank divisions are being upgraded, and as soon as they're ready I will just move them into battle to provide some extra protection. And then we have the southern, so the Western Front. The Southwestern Front protects the line between, I would say, Gomel until Chernobyl, and it has a particularly strong defense in Kiev, where the whole 12th Army is located here. And I didn't mention it, but also in Riga here I have the equivalent of 2 rifle corps, and here in Daugava place I have as well 1 rifle corps and 1 mechanized corps. Well, Riga and Kiev are first of all, 2 very important towns. Riga also has a port and an airport. I don't want to lose them so easily, I'm sorry. And they are heavily fortified, so I want to hold them for ideally forever and ever. And the reason why I also fortified Daugava place here is because it can be attacked from 4 different provinces at the same time. And yeah, so the Southwestern Front covers these approaches, while the Southern Front covers the remainings, what remains of the Dnieper line. I must say the good thing is that I had enough fortified regions to have at least 1 unit within each province. I must say I also took 2 armies from the reserve front. Yeah, the 16th Army here and Konev 19th Army, because I didn't have enough troops from the regular fronts, let's say, and I was forced to deploy those guys here. And I do have a kind of mobile corps here holding the line in Dnipropetrovsk. I know it's not fortified, but I'm not so keen in giving it up so easily to the Axis forces. So true, they are the mobile reserve, but I think they will just participate in the battle and hold the enemy for as long as possible. And the reserve front armies are now being distributed along several regions of the front, especially in those regions in which I expect the enemy to make some kind of breakthroughs. And so they're not really full, because I took some divisions here to fill the gaps in the main front line, but hopefully hopefully the Dvina-Dniper line will hold. One, let's say, interesting development that occurred is that Iran joined the Axis, which was totally unexpected, and as such this event forced me to redeploy all of the, well, sorry, I forgot. First of all, I moved all of the mountain rifle divisions within the Caucasian front, and because most of the mountains divisions were actually placed under the command of the 12th Army, and I now placed all the units of the Caucasian front here along the Iranian border, and I also have here some mountain rifle units and some mechanized troops covering the Iranian front. I also put, so here some troops covering the border with Afghanistan, because I forgot about it. Nope, then let's do like this, because now it's being influenced by Italy, and it's actually quite close to the Axis. So I want to have my, let's say, southern front here well protected, and I am moving the troops of the 17th, of the 17th Army. I should move them. Yeah, I should move them to Sevastopol. And it took me time because I also took the 35th Rifle Division here, and I moved them by sea to the new front, but still it took quite some time, I must say. And between doing, all this back and forth, and hopefully, I can. Okay, I have everything now, so I can also move these two divisions here. Yeah. Okay. So. Did I forget anything? No. The far eastern front, besides having lost one rifle division, it was left mostly unchanged. I think, that's all for this special episode, and in the next one I think we will cover the early stages of the Axis advance. As always, people, thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you like the video, and as always, share it, like, and comment. It always makes me happy. Then, take care, and see you soon.